He looks stuck.
Yeah,
frozen.
I see his screen. Oh, there he is.
Okay.
And then he left.
Is there anyone else?
Me?
Roaming can go.
Okay.
Man, you're amazing. Great work.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good multitasker, although now.
Oh no.
I have is all the
Asking too much.
development team, Cherich and Monique for jumping into the new issues like Next.js, Onboard.js, segment, analytics, Docker, Kubernetes, making, updating Giveth bridge and other features that they have implemented in the last few weeks. And also I want to praise Cherich for starting the Next.js and starting also full-time with us. Also, I want to praise Monique for always doing the requirement analysis and clearing the issues for me, and also picking the most important issues. And also I want to praise Amin for always being supportive and being online and helping me in the issues. And at last, I want to praise all the Giveth members for being so nice and also starting Give Garden and Take Hatch. I will pass it to Mohammed. Are you there? I think, yeah, Mohammed, I think, is not online. Willie, have you gone yet?
Did we go back to Griff yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, yeah.
So I can take it. I want to give major praise to Amin and Edu for taking on the smart contracts for the Give farm, which seems to be the new Give mining, which is nice. And of course the Give drop and Give stream. Oh, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to praise Sam and Gabby and Sasha and Will J. Griff and Fabri and Paulo and Pavle and there's so many people on the Garden Swarm team that we're relying on to make our economy work for launching everything. So we're making a bunch of issues in their repo. So I just want to give them a lot of praise for dealing with us and all of our demands, which is great. And also I want to praise all the people making demands: Mitch, Lauren, Donna, and everyone else who's testing the gardens. I don't know who else is testing the gardens.
Bowen.
Mia, Bowen, myself, everyone who's making issues on GitHub for them. They love it. We love it. Everybody loves it. Thank you so much. I want to dish major praise to Ashley, who's not here right now, but man, it's just so nice to know that project verification is in her hands and there's really nothing to worry about. And having that kind of confidence in someone is always worth praise. I also want to praise Carlos and Ashley for jumping into the work with the Giving Block. To do that, I want to praise Monstrosity and George Lee and who else? Alex from the Giving Block and all the people who are helping us. The Dow House guys and all the people who are giving us the raw materials to actually do the give drop. All the addresses from all these groups, Niran and the One Hive crew. It's so nice just to have it being spoon fed and we don't have to dig out. I want to praise Bowen, of course, for taking the lead on the give drop and always clicking the button so that we all get paid. It never fails. It's so nice. I want to praise Willie and Lauren for hacking on designs and how beautiful they are and really working through the concepts with such wisdom and foresight to really nail it down so that we don't waste time redoing everything later. What else do I have? I want to praise... Man, I had more. Okay, I'll call it that. But there's a lot of praise to be given, of course. Everybody's. I want to praise Mateo also for doubling down and working so hard on everything. My gosh. Oh, and Donna. Donna has been diving in and also trying to learn everything. And it's quite the rabbit hole. So major praise to you, Donna, for diving into that. And praise to Monique for managing everything. But I'll pass it to. Did everyone go? Pass it to
Is
Rami.
Modak?
Ramin went.
Mo?
Mohammed?
Did Mo?
No, I don't
Did
see
you make it?
Mohammed.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take it back, and we are almost at 10:30 because there's so much awesome to celebrate as a community, and that's cool. But I'll just be really quick. I want to praise in particular Mateo, Carlos, Mitch for really getting into the impact graph stuff. Let's see, where's my name? I want to praise Mitch excessively for his always consistent in deep consideration of our process, surfacing challenges, suggesting improvements in how we make decisions. Very, very valuable. Let's see, I want to praise Lauren for her analytical mind and extensive capacity for applying it to many issues, reveal the larger picture through thoughtful explanations and writing. I want to praise Mateo for always being kind and quick with support requests. Praise Ashley for going above and beyond and aiding the new Giveth users that are coming in and asking all kinds of questions. Praise Willie for rocking Shapeshift and Giveth simultaneously, evolving that ecosystem with epic improvements across the DAO sphere. Praise Donna for her persistence and productivity, taking on Giveth PM work despite the time zone discrepancy, really following up consistently and kind of being everywhere. That's what it takes to learn it, and you're doing a great job. Praise Mia and Bowen for getting their hands dirty in the garden. Oh, where's more me? There's so much praise here. Praise Amin, Ramin, Mo, and Monique for continuous improvements on Trace that are evident each time I use it and show it. It's really getting better and smoother and faster all the time. Praise Marco, Rodri, and Mitch as well for hacking on the new Giveth look and feel across all the dApps and the docs. Praise Frashell for coordinating the Giveth galaxy of contributors, helping us be more clear on roles and contracts. And praise Griff for his endless love and support of the Giveth galaxy and the future of giving that is spanning many galaxies and bringing us all together and creating this new economy. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I have more praise in the channel for everybody else that I did not mention, but you're seen and appreciated and awesome. Do you guys want me to share my screen as we go through the agenda? Why don't I go ahead and do that? Boom. One. All right. Is there anybody who's bringing a burning desire or a need to talk about something that is not always on our agenda or doesn't fall into one of these categories? All right. I'm going to go ahead and dive in and present what we have in Givernance right now. There are a variety of proposals in the community advice process, as you all know, because I'm seeing more and more of you jump in there and chime in. So it's really a great way for us to engage the whole community, not just those of us that are in the DAO and the token holders, but really surfacing all of these different perspectives. I so appreciate everybody really thinking these things through and sharing so thoughtfully. The three proposals that are really active right now, the newest one is Hannah's governance steward role proposal. Really love to hear anybody's thoughts and perspectives, not only on her role and capacity to take this, but how it makes sense in the realigning of our roles. So any thoughts and feedback are really appreciated there. The second one that's pretty active right now is defining our circles. The proposal that's up is talking about stewards and working groups. One of the things I'm seeing there is maybe my last comment on there is maybe we just focus on getting our stewards defined for those three circles and let the stewards govern how to set up working groups and if they need their own stewards and things. So I'm kind of taking the feedback from Mitch on this, where the other proposal that already went through the vote around 4 to 5 years is an example of where having so much listed in a proposal that then goes to governance can be a little confusing. And it might be a good idea for us to kind of break these proposals in the advice process down to individual items that we're going to vote on for clarity. So that's what I'm proposing on that one right now. These are all things that are going to be on our governance agenda tomorrow. So as I share with you, if you have thoughts and questions, I hope you will bring them to the call tomorrow. We're also talking about resiliency of the Giveth dApps. You'll see that one on there, the unlisted, listed, verified, and beyond issue. There are more in there. These are the big ones that are there right now. I know the other one around the Give mining is also still active. I'll get some updates on that soon. We don't have any new proposals on Aragon right now. We may very well have one very soon this week around Hannah's role. I for a vote this week. There's one thing I wanted to put on a note here, just something that we can talk about in the governance call more. As we're currently in the reputation DAO on Aragon Hive, and as we prepare to move into gardens, one of the questions that is coming up for me is around like vote streaming and when a token holder votes no. I think it was really valuable that Mitch and Ashley and Lauren shared some various perspectives on when you vote no. Do you need to share that? Is this being transparent, sharing our reasons so that other people can hear it, think about it, maybe change their minds even? Or can a person just say no and they don't have to say anything? And even if they vote no in vote streaming, once a proposal reaches enough, it can go forward. So I feel like we had talked before about the potential for somebody to block something. I see you guys looking at each other and shrugging your shoulders. This is a conversation we can take to tomorrow, but I just think it's something that's coming up and we should talk about it a little more and make sure we're considering it.
In conviction voting, you can't vote no. So that'll make things much different.
Right. So that's kind of what I'm just asking us to think about, because if somebody does have an objection, where is the space in the future that can be voiced and discussed and shared?
Celeste, you can, if we use disputability, you can take them to DAO court, in essence, so you can challenge the proposal.
Okay, sweet.
I think it's okay.
Integrating that.
We don't all have to agree on everything all the time, right? But as long as we have the opportunity to give that feedback, which I think we have that, but it's always something that we can do better at, is making sure. But we have this forum, we bring these things up in the governance process, and sometimes there's going to be things where we don't all completely align, and that's okay. I think at some point we got to just take things to governance, and for our Give, it's okay to vote no, and in the gardens, it's okay to not vote in support for something. It's totally fine. And I think, it's just best practices. There's no requirement to have to explain why you voted no on something. But if you are going to vote no, it's best practices to share that feedback. And I think we did a pretty good job with this past one. But at some point, we needed to take it to governance, and I think it was okay because we left pretty good time for people to share that feedback, and the feedback was at least addressed and heard.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also noticed that sometimes we make soft agreements before uploading a proposal. So sometimes it's important to address why they no, because, not everyone is in the same meetings all the time, but when a proposal is made, it's at least 2, 3, 4 people are really involved in that proposal. So a no sounds like, okay, that soft agreement that was made, maybe it wasn't heard by somebody else. And it's important to check maybe why that no could change the minds of many other people. We are not in the same loop all the time. So I thought that sometimes the proposals that go up are heard before even it's written. So a no can be important to address, in my opinion. It's not obligatory, but I think should make sense.
Nice. Well, I hope that those of you who have thoughts to share on this and want to be a part of making sure we have a very robust process for making great decisions will come to the call tomorrow. Does anyone prepared for in the governance meeting tomorrow?
Drop stuff, and also I think the big one will be like a sort of vesting for token for current contributors will be an important topic to discuss tomorrow.
I'll make sure it's on there and look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning. And the next section we have on our agenda is DApp development. I didn't delete a lot of the stuff out of last week, just to leave it here as a prompt to check in, but I'm going to add anything that you're sharing at the top and then can clear out anything that's not relevant as we go, so let me know. Monique, are you comfortable leading the DApp development updates, or is there...
About the trace, we just finished verification, or I can name it making projects traceable wizard. It's done on UAT, and I started testing. I welcomed Mitch and everybody to jump through testing this process. Another update is lots of bug fixing and editing the the simulation improvement. Number 3 is just set up new server for trace project, and number 4 is setting limit rates to prevent DDoS attacks. It's a kind of a security improvement for our project, and making tracing to Next.js in front. Ramin has started, and about the Giveth.io, I think Mato is there, and so we can go forward. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. This week it was mainly focused on solving some issues regarding the impact graph, integrations, important stuff that were not being fine in the application. I ended with the integration with the traces. You can not only see the traceable projects, you can now see the traces inside and the donations. That was the main improvement this week. In general, we are discussing, this week we have the sprint planning and we are going to decide what's going to happen next. But in my opinion, maybe we are going to focus also in the listing on listing. But a new thing that came up is the giving blog integration. We worked with Carlos and Ashley, and we found maybe an UX that can work really nicely. We will make a proposal or maybe explain how we find it. We are also talking with Alex from there and see how they can help us because on the flow between us, that we need to find like an agreement in that. But yeah, this week is sprint planning. I think I'm not sure, Mo. I think there has been some confusion between everybody on the calendar. I haven't seen it, but I think the call is on Wednesday, at least for the planning. But if you can make like that a remark right now and clear everybody's mind, we can decide what was the day. I'm not sure, to be honest, but I know that some people ask me like, hey, it's today, do we have a call? Do we have it? And I think it's the right moment to do it right now.
Yeah. It's all set on the calendar, but we have planning for next sprint on Monday, tomorrow. And we have a review our last sprints on Wednesday. We decided not to change our schedule right now and try to put the planning first, and after that we go to review and demo. So we have to decide what we're doing on the next sprint. We have a lot of things to do, but no, I don't know that. Do I have to put all the decisions on the forum and the Aragon, or we can do inside or calls to decide what we do on the next sprint? Do we need post in the forum to decide what to do in the next
Maybe
sprint?
a poll for this one. I don't believe that it needs a proposal or anything. It's like pretty straightforward. If we make a poll and everybody just votes what's better for them, I know the denial sometimes is that some calls crosses between each other. So we should like try to make those dates work for everyone. That's it. So maybe a poll should be the best.
The dates are the same as before. Yeah, we have a planning bi-weekly, and in the middle of the sprint we just have the reviewing. Okay? Instead of and each week we try to get updates. We just plan for 2 weeks, and after that. But in Wednesday, instead of doing whatever, I have lots of different agenda. We just do reviewing for last sprint. So Wednesday are just for reviewing bi-weekly, and Mondays are for planning. But in the middle of the sprint, Monday we just have one grooming and sync that everybody is welcome. So the only change that we have is that the Wednesdays went bi-weekly, but we have our regular meeting as Mondays and Wednesday. But if you think that we have to put a poll here,
no, it's right. Yeah, it was just a confusion that before it wasn't Wednesday, it was Tuesday. So that's it. I think it should be like that.
Yeah. Because of that feedback, I forget all about the Tuesday. I just put it on the Wednesday.
Yeah, perfect. That's all from me, Danny.
Awesome. All right. The only other thing I wanted to just check in on for Giveth IO is I'm seeing some people coming in with some feature requests and things like that. So just wanting to make sure that as users provide support requests or feature requests, that there's some way of championing those issues and requests in the dev call, because we're not going to be having users coming to the dev call. So like a couple of these, the one that I just had them jump into the support channel is just an example. But I can come in and follow up with you separately. I'm just wondering where and how do we, we said we're building out features based on users' request. So as users are requesting features, what is our process for taking a look at those and gauging actual need and interest to get them prioritized?
The standard things that we have to talk with them. We have to, it's my role to contact with them, get feedbacks and try to translate their needs into, very clear, testable, estimatable user stories. But please be aware that we have to do our backlog, and our roadmap that we have decided to do it. So besides, we have a commitment on our roadmap. We have to talk with them, and so I think that it's better not to not letting users or any stakeholders go directly to developers during the sprint and ask for features, bug fixes, and and I think that if we go in this way, we can't plan anymore. So it's just a method. We can do it, but it's Kanban. It's not a Scrum, and we raise issues and put in the column, and we take the first issue at the top and finish it and go to the another issue. But but while we have sprint planning, we have to forget about the new features that just came up in the middle of the it's called comes the community friends and me and even developers can talk with the customers or the clients and try to make things clear. Just put it in the backlog, and in your review planning, in our planning and in our grooming, we have to talk about these issues and make it very clear, and just plan for it for our next sprint later. And that's my idea, and I have to do it. I have to manage it, but everyone can do it. Everyone can talk with the clients and trying to make issues and put it in the backlog. But it's not means that we have to start developing it. It's my idea.
I just
Thank
want to
you
say,
very much.
Monique, yeah, I think that sounds like a good process, and you're right. We shouldn't just have people creating issues and the developers stopping what they're doing mid-sprint or stopping other tickets they're working on to pick that up. Ultimately, it should be a PM who's basically triaging these issues and these reports from customers and prioritizing them for the developers. So just want to say +1.
Awesome. The main thing I just wanted to get out of that is how the community and folks can interface with the users and set clear expectations on what will happen if they do make a request and what the process is. Okay, anything else from the DApp? We can move on into dev and app integration. Last week, there was some conversation and debate around the UX for user donations and an open question. Is there any update on that issue or any of these other ones that I can put in here?
No, the donation thing is, pass me a function to call the contract directly. So just like in Trace, so that's part of my work this week, make that integration happen. But the agreement is to just allow the user to select if they want to make a donation, a traceable donation, or just a regular IO donation.
Right.
And I think the traceable donation only means on a traceable project, not on a simple or verified project.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, the next item on our agenda, where are we at? We are at 10:47. We have 13 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's see, Donna, do you want to give some updates around the Give token economy? I know you've been all over the place. What would you like to share with us today?
Well, you mean the list that Bowen, me, and Griff finalized, and Griff was supposed to play with the numbers, and also Griff and Bowen supposed to sort out the integration. I don't know what's the update on that. Griff, can you?
So Willie, Lauren, and I hacked on some numbers, and we were looking at actually giving 2% to this large list since it's so many people, and we have an initial list, but then I'm getting some more donors from the giving block. So all the donors that ever donated on the giving block, I'm waiting for that list from Alex to integrate that. But we should have a final list, if not tomorrow for a governance meeting, then throughout the week, and we'll propose it on the forum or something.
That's 2% of all tokens?
Yeah, 2% of all tokens. Right now, Gitcoin gets 1%, and this extra drop would get 2%, but it includes a lot of other groups.
Mhm.
And I guess in reference, donors to Giveth get like, I think 4 or 5%.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's the update there. I guess
Cool.
the other big Give Economy update is on the designs. I don't know, Lauren, if you want to say
Yeah.
anything on that.
Yeah, well, Willie and I hacked on, just made some modifications to some of the mock-ups and like made some for givebacks in the Give Garden. So Willie posted that in the Give Economy channel, and it would be great to have like a meeting with the design team to sort of go over it, and then so that they can actually make it like pretty and real designs. Yeah, that's all for that.
Lauren, what town did